Welcome back to the Intuitive Eating Principle series. I am Amy of Mastro Stretch and Intuitive Eating. And if you like my channel, please subscribe to it by clicking right here. Okay, so in my last video, we actually covered Principle 6, even though I said it was Principle 5 in the video. So all good. It's still a principle. That video was about feeling your fullness. And if you'd like to check that video out, go ahead and click right here. And you can go to the playlist as well to catch all the intuitive eating principles. So on to principle 5. Principle 5 is discover the satisfaction factor. The definition of this principle is the Japanese have the wisdom to promote pleasure as one of their goals of healthy living. In our fury to comply with diet culture, we often overlook one of the most basic gifts of existence, the pleasure and satisfaction that can be found in the eating experience. When you eat what you really want to eat in an environment that is inviting, the pleasure you derive will be a powerful force in helping you feel satisfied and content. Sounds good, right? Why is satisfaction and pleasure important when we talk about eating? As humans, we have the unique ability to actually eat for pleasure and satisfaction. Even though many times when we eat, we have feelings of guilt and wrongdoing, and dieting plays right into that. If you constantly eat without feeling satisfied, you'll most likely keep eating until you actually eat the thing that you wanted in the first place, after eating probably way more than you wanted to of the thing that you did not want. A rice cake is not going to satisfy you if you really want a cookie. It just doesn't happen. So you probably went ahead, ate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rice cakes, probably more than you intended, and then you ate the cookie too. So when you actually have a pleasurable and satisfying eating experience, you have increased psychological and biological health. That is proven. And satisfaction is the center of the intuitive eating wheel. It's the center of intuitive eating. Each principle actually is connected to so you have the most satisfaction with each meal, as you can see in this photo here. So let's practice eating satisfaction. So the first thing to ask yourself is, what do I really want to eat? Seems pretty simple, but it might not be. It might be difficult to answer this, especially if you had any of these ideas or things growing up, like parents only giving you certain choices at mealtime. I never had a choice of what I was going to eat. It was just put in front of me and I was supposed to eat it. Growing up in a diet mentality household or a strict healthy eating only household. Punishment if you didn't follow the food rules. I know I myself would have to sit at the dinner table to eat one thing. I did not like meat, and then I would have to sit there until I ate that meat. If you had good versus bad foods or even forbidden foods, like you were not allowed to eat something. And then feeling stress around eating and the criticism you might get from your family. So that might be difficult to identify what you really want to eat if you've had any of those things growing up. So these are some things to consider when you figure out what you want to eat. Let's go over them. We're going to relearn this process of what do we really want to eat. So in this exercise, the following questions are going to help you identify what you want to eat. So we're using our senses to figure out what we want to eat. So the first one is, what taste sounds appealing? What do you want? You want savory, sweet, salty, buttery, rich, bitter, tart, smoky, hot, spicy, bland, mild? What do you want? What taste do you want? What texture sounds appealing? So do you want smooth, creamy, crunchy, chewy, crispy, crumbly, hard, soft, flaky, gooey, mushy, sticky, greasy, dry, moist, thick, thin, heavy, light, lumpy? So what texture do you want? What aromas do you want? And much of the pleasure of eating comes from smelling the food. So smelling fresh bread, baked bread, do you want that? Of course you do. What about roasting of fresh coffee? Like, would that hit the spot right now? I know for me, in around Christmas time, the smell of anise, that, oh my God, that just brings back memories of eating pizzelles and, oh, anise cookies. Oh, so good. Like, you just want that, right? And then what temperature of the food is enticing? So in the winter, you probably want some hot chocolate or a nice hot soup. But in the summer, you probably want some cool yogurt with fruit or ice cream. So these things, you want to ask yourself these things to figure out, what do you really want? What is going to make you feel satisfied when you eat? What about the appearance of the food? Would you like something colorful or diverse? Or do you want blah, 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 uncomplicated and bland looking? And how does that appearance affect the satisfaction of your meal? Sometimes you just want something simple, like some cheese and crackers, right? How do you and then how do you feel about the volume of food? And this is not really a sense, but this is something you're going to feel through your stomach or previous experiences, that you felt with through your stomach. So like a bowl of chili will leave you feeling very full, while a salad won't fill you up like that. Do you want something heavy or hearty that will fill you up and sustain you longer? That chili will probably sustain you a lot longer than that salad. Do you want something airy and light or small that might not fill you up as long? So I know, like, okay, I know if I'm getting hungry, okay, maybe I'll just have a bar because I know I'm going to have dinner in an hour or two. So think about that as well. And then something else that factors into food satisfaction is how hungry you are. So if you're ravenous, you'll most likely gorge on a meal, and you're not going to savor it. You're not going to be or really feel satisfied until you're full, overly full, right? And the same is true when you're not hungry. Eating when you're not hungry lowers your satisfaction level as well. So both extremes are going to lower your satisfaction level, because if you're overly hungry, you're stuffing your face, you're not being mindful, you're not tasting the food, you're just trying to get it in your mouth, and then you overeat and you feel bad. So that's not a satisfying feeling. And the same goes when you're not hungry, like, you don't want to force yourself to eat something that you don't want, right? So you get the most pleasure and satisfaction from being moderately hungry. And if you want tips for about not becoming more overly hungry, you want to go ahead and sign up for my 7-day intuitive eating challenge, and that's going to help you identify that. And then you can also check out the video at the end of this video in the screen. So remember this. Every time you remember these questions, when you're wanting something to eat, ask yourself, what do I really want to eat? Consider your senses, the texture, the taste, the aroma, and then think about the meal as a whole. And then pick something based upon what's pulling you. What's the strongest thing pulling you? Like, I really want something salty and crunchy. That's really what's pulling me today. Like, I want some pretzels. So this skill requires time and patience to develop, obviously. Be compassionate with yourself as you're learning or relearning these tools for feeling satisfied when you eat. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like, leave some comments about your experiences with food satisfaction. And again, my name is Amy of MastroStretch. Thank you for watching this video. And until the next intuitive eating video, bye for now.